Hello and welcome to Faithful to Race Across the World, where we are here to discuss Celebrity Race Across the World, Series 3, Episode 5. Or, as it's known, the penultimate leg.
They said that a few times, didn't they, on the episode?
Yeah, they really wanted us to know.
It's the penultimate leg. Don't forget.
No.
The penultimate leg.
Mm-hmm. Went without a hitch again. Whoever planned this route this year did it really well because there's been no hiccups.
Hasn't there?
No, there's been no sudden flights. There's been no can't travel after night time.
Oh, I can't tell your sarcastic tone sometimes, Ben. Oh, I get you.
It's gone perfectly fine. The original route is stuck the whole series. So well
they'll never be doing Central America again, let's be honest, because I think this is the third time they've had to regroup and tour them around. And it's fine if it happens like once, or if it's planned, like when they went over China a couple of years ago, they had to fly over China to get to the next destination. But it can be a bit unfair because it means that the teams kind of end up just conglomerating into one big glob.
Yeah, I do wonder how they work out the timings to keep it fair. Like when they all get off a plane, do they then just wait around and be like, beep, right, you go, and then wait, and then do they time it?
There was 2 flights.
That's weird.
On this one, there was 2 flights. And Roman and Harley Moon and Molly and Tyler both had separate flights. So I think Molly and Tyler got the earlier flight while Roman and Harley Moon, because Roman and Harley
Moon... Dylan and Jackie had to rent a hotel room.
So did they need to bow?
Yeah, but that's not their fault because they were told they had to stay there.
I agree with you there as well. I think that because it wasn't necessarily the fault of the teams for why the delay was happening, maybe production should have said, okay, on this time we hit with the hotel cost. And also, I think we're kind of like, our sympathies are for Dylan and Jackie because they've spent so much money and they got so little left, while the other teams seem to have a healthy enough balance to get them to the final.
Don't feel too sorry for them because episode 1, they were the ones who were wasting their money.
Yeah, but they were finding their feet,
and on this episode,
and they're the ones who've taken the longest to kind of acclimatise to the competition.
They were still finding their feet. This episode, everyone was rushing around to get to those desert islands. Jackie and Dylan were going to a waterfall, nice tranquil little walk through a rainforest, swimming. So don't feel too sorry for them.
Let them have that swim. How dare you take that away from them. Plus we heard more about Jackie's life, which, oh my goodness, I don't know how that woman survived. Honestly, she's had such a terrible time, hasn't she? Her husband died just before she gave birth to her first son. As we know from previous episodes, her first son had taken his life, and it's just awful time for Jackie. And Dylan, so sweet, so cute, but can't quite show emotions very well. He's like going, thanks, Mum.
He's got to use comedy.
Cheers, Mum, for being you.
It's the British way.
It's the British way.
Use comedy to
stiff upper lip. Do not show emotions.
Yeah, more sadness from Jackie, but also not complete sadness because she was talking about how nature helps her feel a bit closer to everyone that she's lost and stuff. So it was nice to see it all. But yeah, it's just very emotional. This just Race Across the World in general is emotional, but this series in particular,
I know,
it's we're meant to be a fun podcast here. How are we meant to discuss this?
Yeah, but I like talking about these things. It's like I said to you when we were watching, it's like this information, the story, information, it sounds so formal, so British. This information about Roman Kemp. The story of Roman Kemp and his sister keeping him on the phone while his mum went to find him and he was upset. And I mean, I never knew this about Roman Kemp. And to be fair, I was always very kind of neutral about Roman Kemp. I didn't particularly like him. I didn't particularly dislike him. He was there. He was always on the one show or hosting a game show when you're on a big bumper car going into walls. But I've learned so much about him. This show has made me actually like him a lot more. This is like this story that he holds, and he's not embarrassed to tell it, and he's not embarrassed to say it was something that I put through. I feel bad for putting this through my family, and I'm sorry for that. And the family are like, "Well, there's nothing for you to be sorry about." And it's just heartbreaking.
Yeah, because he went on a trek. Again, nature was bringing this out for him, and he went across that, and that was what made him realise. And he suddenly was like, "Oh, I've not actually thanked my sister for being on the phone with me." And it's like, when you're in that situation, I'm sure his sister and his mum have never even
thought about it.
Roman's never talked to me about that. No. But Yeah, and then he had his little moment with her, and she literally said, I just wanted you to be happy. It's just the normal thing to do. So.
Listen, Charlie's not happy, so I'm just going to have to run away for 5 seconds. But carry on saying about what else happened in the episode.
Okay, well, at the beginning of the episode, everyone, Tyler was on a beach.
I'm back.
And he... Oh.
Go on, tell us about Tyler and his T-shirt being off.
Nothing, I was just saying Molly and Tyler, the hot couple, were in there on the beach and he had his top off.
He had his top off a lot
my content.
this episode.
Well...
He's like a
area.
book. He's like what was that character in Prison Break? Because he had tattoos and then like had stories. Like on his chest, it was like a full like scripture, and then down his arm he had like a story there. And it reminded me a little bit of the tattoo from Prison Break, who had the whole prison system tattooed to his body. Same. But yeah, I knew you enjoyed that. But what about Bao though? He had his nipples out as well. Don't forget.
Bao. Oh yeah, I was distracted by Molly and Tyler.
Done like a bit of DILF.
No, I was distracted.
No.
And Dylan in his little shorts.
Oh yeah, Dylan was wearing stripy Popeye shorts when he went for a swim. And
Roman was there too with his little shorty shorts. So
the Timotei waterfall. I was expecting Jackie to wash her hair and then flick her head back and have all the water going behind her like a shampoo advert.
That's an old reference, that advert.
Oh, I'm an old person. I'm an old man, me. But yes, there was lots of nipples out this episode, so it must be very hot near the equator. Who'd have thought it, eh?
What we like. But yeah, so it was a dangerous leg where half of it was like blocked off. So they had to. Although it looked like it was going to be the easiest one when they showed it at the beginning of the episode. It's like, well, that looks easy, but in fact, it ended up being probably one of the most difficult because they had to do this boat island hopping thing. Which was like £200 each, £155 each, wasn't it?
$155 each,
and there was no negotiation. It was like, this is what you pay.
This is what you pay. And
because there's no other way around.
And all the teams realised that they basically had to stop halfway, stay on an island, and then carry on their journey to Colombia the next day. Apart from Dylan and Jackie, who were running around that island, panicked, worried, didn't understand what they had to do next, thought they'd been conned. You could tell by Jackie's face, she thought, we've been conned here. We've been conned out of over $300 to just have a 1 hour trip on a boat and then to be stuck on an island.
And they were warned at the beginning by travellers. They were like,
yes, don't do that
because people were crying, dogs were on there. And
dogs were throwing up off the side.
Yeah, but everyone had to do it and it did look a bit rough. I want to say, someone commented on our YouTube and they said, I'm excited to see this great cast in Colombia in the next episode. That's the episode we just watched. Because in series 2, they originally had to go through my hometown, but in the end, they had to skip it due to civil unrest.
Oh,
I'm keeping my fingers crossed that nothing goes wrong in my country this time.
Well, we don't know where they are. They might still be going to where they live in Colombia.
I don't know.
You need to be more. You need to let us know what it was that.
I want to go to that island though because the pig that was on the island.
That little pig. So I'm just looking at that stretch of water because it's just after you get past Panama City. You can't go on land because it's like a kind of like it's where immigrants kind of cross, but it's crossed by the like cartel. And so they weren't able to do that, so you have to take the water around it, and the water is like in the Caribbean Sea, and then there's a group of islands that are all along it, and basically you kind of use that group of islands
all the native people have been pushed over to in like the 1500s
because the Spanish invaded. The Spanish decided to so it's not invasion, is it? If it's the Europeans doing it, it's called colonization. They decided to colonize that part of Panama, and so then all the native people who lived there then got pushed onto those islands, and then quite rightly so decided to say that no one outside of their community are able to buy any of those islands. I thought that was brilliant. As soon as they said that, I thought, yes.
And idiot tourists come over and go like, God, this is paradise. Aren't you lucky?
Yeah.
It's like, oh yeah, thanks.
Can I sleep in a hammock with a fly net over my head, please?
But I mean, the pig stole the show.
That pig was adorable. Harley Moon wanted to replace Roman with the pig. Well, it was a domesticated pig. If you didn't watch the episode and you just listened to our podcast, it was a pig and it was like a dog. It was like Bay Pig in the City. It was adorable. It was so lovely. It was so cute. Oh my God. I loved it. And the way it just rolled on its side and kind of like a dog, like with his little trotters in the air, waiting for his tummy to be tickled. And it was snuffling.
Well, he was walking around with all the dogs. He obviously thought he was a dog.
That's what I'm saying. Here. He was a domesticated pig.
Bless him. So that was sweet. I like that. But yeah, everyone kind of went on the same journey on this episode, just with different luck, really. Because
yes, but
we know that Roman and Harley just have bad luck. It just follows them.
They didn't this leg. They had good luck this leg. In fact, they made their good luck because while everyone else was like catching direct buses to Panama City, they decided we're not going to wait 8 hours. Molly and Tyler had the luxury because they were 8 hours behind. They could just literally go straight onto the bus to the direct bus to Panama City. But Roman and Harley Moon were in Panama City at the same time because they created their own luck because they bus hopped all the way to Panama City. They didn't say if it was cheaper or not.
No.
But Anita and Bao seemed to be the ones with the bad luck this episode. And it felt welcome. I think Anita needed a bit of a grounding.
I know, she's a bit feisty
Bossy.
on this episode. Like when the boat stops, and obviously I'm assuming they know by now that they can't travel at night time. And like the boat stopped on the desert island. She was like, "Why have you stopped?
Yeah, what's happening? Rapido."
Right. He was literally like, "Oh, the sun's setting, miss," and then he just ran away. So yeah, she was a bit. I mean, obviously it's hours and hours of travel, and they've been doing this for 30 days now, so people aren't going to be as calm as they once were on episode 1, but still.
Well, yeah, but Anita's never been calm. Your term feisty wraps her up quite well. It's like she's always constantly been on edge and ready to move on to the next part of the challenge. Well, I get that, but at the same time, it's like, come on, Anita, take a step back. Let these people do their work.
Poor guys. But then again, how good were these guys at relaying information? Because it's an expensive ticket, and then Anita and Bao didn't seem to know what was happening once they stopped off at the island. It seems like they didn't know you have to then spend a night on the island, then you go the next morning. And the same thing with Dylan and Jackie. They didn't even know where they were.
That's why I said Jackie looked like she was being conned. You could tell by Jackie's face.
They were in a different place as well. They weren't on a desert island. They were on like quite a busy.
Yeah, we're much more colonised island. Much more busy island.
And Dylan didn't even know what country he was in.
Well, yeah, but Dylan thought they were in Colombia, and he said, right. He went up to someone and said, "Hi, we're in Colombia. What do we do next?" And the guy was like, "No, you're in Panama still." Yeah. He was like, "What?"
It's like, which direction is it? And he just went up.
Yeah, he did.
It's very
far away.
So, yeah.
But yeah,
for them.
Poor Dylan and Jackie. Eventually, Dylan worked out because he went back to the boat and said, like, "What do we do? Where you get? What's happening?" And the guy on the boat said, "I stay here with you tonight, and then we get back on the boat and we go." And he was like, "Oh, I see. I understand now." But it was funny how like every single boat stopped at a different island. There was like no common stopping spot.
Well, they share the wealth.
Share the wealth. That's how
each
the world
island
should be.
Gets a go. But I mean, you say Roman and Harley didn't have the bad luck. Them and Molly and Tyler were like the parallels this episode.
They were, yeah.
And like in the beginning, they didn't get the direct one. Molly and Tyler got that really good direct one all
yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Roman and Harley made that conscious choice though, because Molly and Tyler were 8 hours behind. They didn't have to wait 8 hours to get the bus. Roman and Harley were like, "Nah, we're not going to wait 8 hours," so they made their own luck. So it wasn't a bad luck. It was good luck.
No, but still, it was still there on the sidelines. Because then when they got to immigration, Molly and Tyler got there 5 minutes before it closed, got through. Roman turned up, so we've just closed. Yeah,
but Molly and Tyler got to Panama City, got to the boat. They just got there a little bit quicker than Roman and Harley. That was it. I don't think that was bad luck. I was just thinking that's some misfortune.
It's still there. The omen's still there on the shoulder.
But they've passed it off to Anita. They've gone up to Anita and just kind of like rubbed their clothes off her now, and they've kind of like it's like static electricity. That's why Anita's hair's gone up on end. It's not the climate. It's this static electricity of bad luck that Roman and Harley Moon have been rubbing against her.
I mean, we've got the final next week. So this is...
Is this the penultimate episode?
Yes.
I didn't know that. They never mentioned it once.
This is where you can use your money and
to give to us on buymeacoffee.com/faithful.
Hi, I'm Ben, by the way.
And I'm Alex.
Dylan and Jackie have very small amount left. And it's... I did think when they were in their hotel room and they played the sad music, I thought they're going to get a message on their thing saying you're out of the race.
Yes, there's no way you can carry on this race.
There's a secret ticket which we've got, which is more than your budget. So they've only got 13% of their budget left.
Well, let me quickly go back on what you said about the secret ticket, because you're quite right. There's something they always do on Race Across the World, which was at the first series was a surprise. Now, not so much a surprise, but they always stick them with one final charge just before they get to the book.
I'm wondering if this boat ride, though, this one that they had on this episode was their version of that, because they all had to pay that 155.
That's true.
Maybe
it was a very. They're like none of them haggled, so I'm presuming it's just a set price.
There wasn't no.
There's no haggle.
There was no. Like you say, there's only one route, so they can charge whatever they want.
Well, it's a captive market. It's like when you go to a service station in the UK. Like you're driving, you want to go on a little holiday to Cornwall. You want to stop at services, Roundham's maybe, for instance, at the Happy Eater.
Starbucks or Costa, McDonald's, but you have to worry, and then you have to keep going.
Yeah, you can either keep going and not pay £12 for a breakfast, or you take your own packed lunch, which is what my mum and dad used to do. Soggy sandwiches,
wet sandwich. I've been sweating.
I miss Happy Eater and Little Chef, don't you?
I only went to Little Chef once in my life. There was one near me, I think, at one point. Turned into a KFC eventually.
Of course it did. Like everything. Everything now is turned into either a KFC or a Starbucks.
But 13% they have left in, and Jackie. That's not much for a last leg.
No.
You need at least 20, I think, to really... Because they're going to a really expensive country as well, they said, didn't they?
Well, they're in expensive. It's Colombia.
Yeah, so taxis aren't going to be 70p anymore.
No, that 70p taxi was a real touch, wasn't it?
So I do worry. I'm worried that they're not... Dylan and Jackie aren't actually going to make it, which we did predict on episode 1. We said we don't think they... I'm now wondering if that's going to be the case. Can you get a whole leg done in 13%? And they're not even at the checkpoint yet. They're still in the hotel.
That's true. They had to stay at a hotel because of there being problems. There was, what was it, a strike, wasn't it? And they thought that there'd be some military action taking place, so it'd be dangerous for them to travel. So they had to fly directly to their checkpoint. 13%. I think they could make it. I don't think they got a chance in winning, though. No. Yeah, because in the very final leg of the show, you just go. Use every single resource, every single piece of money that you have, every piece of 8 that you have, and you just storm to the final. Because
I'm wondering if, and I didn't expect this, if Molly and Tyler may take this win, because they seem really in tune with each other. They're not arguing. They've never really argued. They're really good and decisive at making decisions. They seem to just get on and do, like an 18-hour coach. They just go, yep, let's do it. And they seem to just get on and do everything. And they've still got 20% of their budget, which is enough. So I'm wondering if they're going to take the win.
I'd like Molly and Tyler to take the win. I feel like the funny thing is that Molly and Tyler seems to have this real interesting backstory attached to him.
Yeah, you don't learn much about her, though,
but
do you?
Molly I've not known anything about, and I wonder if this is going to be the final episode. Is going to be when we learn something about Molly. We just learn something about her because I'd like to know more about her.
The thing is, she's been on Britain's Got Talent at 13. Then she was on that show on CBBC. Then she did Strictly Come Dancing. Then she's been on EastEnders. So I guess she's not really had a...
I suppose we've seen her grow up. We've seen her life before our eyes. While with Anita and Bao, obviously he had a hard. She had an upbringing where he lost his job and so on. Dylan and Jackie's had a.
She's
terrible,
single in her mid-40s now.
Oh my goodness!
Family, not going to be lonely.
Why are we not talking about this story? So Anita's single and ready to mingle. She's a single Pringle.
Yeah,
she's ready to go. God, I'm using all that.
And Bao's basically, it's like that old-fashioned, like, you'll be lonely if you don't have a husband and kids to look after. It's like, no.
And he's like, no, it's okay, Dad. Don't worry about it. And Bao's like, you're not lonely now, though, are you? And he's like, nah, I'm not. As they swung in their hammocks. And he pretended to snore. I do like their relationship, though, Anita and Bao. It's very sweet. I mean, Bao is very much the kind of calming influence on Anita's very hyperactive, almost OCD style way of traveling across the country. So they balance each other out really nicely. So it's fun watching them two travel.
They've got the most budget as well. They've got over 30% still.
And with someone like Anita, that's dangerous because Anita will literally be like, right, we got the money. I'll just get a taxi directly to the hotel and we'll be done. That's us for the night. See you later, Dad. I'll leave it on the side. It'll be cheaper.
But then again, they're quite behind it. Molly and Tyler are first, aren't they? And Roman and Harley are second. So
Dylan and Jackie and Anita and Bao are both stuck at the border. Yeah, stuck at the border, waiting for the first flight. So essentially, Anita and Bao and Dylan and Jackie. It's interestingly the one with the highest budget and the one with the lowest budget are the two who are basically going to be equally leaving at the same time. So it will be interesting to see actually how them two get along with each other as they get out. They didn't say the distance between Molly, Tyler, and Roman and Honeymoon because I do think that Molly and Tyler caught the earlier flight, so presumably it was like 4 or 5 hours between them. So it'd be interesting to see how their kind of gap kind of pushes them forward.
Yeah. They've got Roman and Harley got 25%. So that's plenty for the last leg. So I think it's going to be between those two. Once you're on the final, I don't think you can really, if you're a lot behind, like Dylan and Jackie are going to be, and they can't spend money. They're not in it.
Do you think Dylan and Jackie might concede and just be like, let's just blow out our money for one
for a restaurant?
Yeah, exactly. Let's just blow our money and do one last big
finish it how they started.
Yes,
maybe is what they need to do.
That's what I'm wondering if they're going to end up doing. And again, that tends to happen with the mother and son teams. They tend to be the ones who are kind of like always with the lowest money, so they then go, sod it. Let's just blow it all on one big excursion.
Unless we lose a money belt somewhere along the line.
Well, Roman won't lose the money belt because while they're on the boat and Harley thought that he was quickly going in to comfort her as they were jumping on the waves, she was going to fall off the boat. Roman was like, no, money belt. It's like, okay. Roman knows his priorities and he's quite right to think that way too.
He's a Kemp.
He's a Kemp.
They're all on TV at the moment. We're covering all
I
of
know,
them.
they're all on there. There's just the mum who's not. I keep half expecting to like see like a trailer for something and just see like
she's on their mum's knitting called. With Tom Daly or something.
Yeah, what's that show with Tom Daly?
Oh, it's awful. It's literally like watching paint dry.
I mean, how can you make a TV show about people knitting?
They put a camera on people knitting and they're all in silence and it's like, well, what's going on here?
Yeah, but this is the thing. I think they thought that when they came up with this idea of this knitting competition, it would be a bit like what these knitting circles are, and that's basically groups of like people who all get in a circle together and knit and like have conversations with and gossip and have cups of tea. But obviously, if you put a competitive edge onto it, people probably are less inclined to want to talk and want to quickly.
Yeah, that's true. So when I was in the library, there was a knitting thing going on. I was listening to the women.
Oh, what are they nattering about?
A police officer doing something. Can't remember what. I can't remember now.
Be careful. We don't want to get in trouble.
It was something odd, but I was sitting there looking through the bookshelves and they were chattering behind me.
Did you not fancy joining them for a bit of a knit?
No. I wish I could remember what they were talking. It was actually interesting. Not interesting, but like, of course they're talking about that, but I can't remember what it is now, so it doesn't matter.
Okay.
But yeah. Tom Daly, flop.
There we go.
So you go. What have you got? Any changes on winners? I'm going with. I think Molly and Tyler are going to surprise me and take it because they're focused. They're good. And they're hot.
I think Anita's going to win. I think she's going to.
Do you?
Yeah, I think she's going to
get the whip out.
Yeah, plow every resource that they have. She's going to go for it now, and she's going to go for the win. She's so competitive. It's almost painfully competitive.
I suppose because they got so much, they can just do private taxis and stuff.
That's what I mean. And I think she's just going to find the fastest route and cost is no challenge for them. They can literally throw money at the problem now, and they will. I'm sure they will. For Anita, this win is, I think, no disrespect, and I don't think it would disrespect Anita for saying this, but I think this win is important to her too. I think for Molly and Tyler, it's the experience. For Roman and Harley, it was the kind of like the getting closer and the bond and the fun.
Well, Molly went back to EastEnders and then quit after this.
She's not. She's gone to Australia. Exactly. She's gone travelling again. The bug bit her and she's gone travelling. But for Anita, don't get me wrong. I think the story between Anita and Bao has been delightful and I've loved learning about their relationship. And I think there's a true relationship there's a true bond between father and daughter. But at the end of the day, I think it's always been the win for Anita. Because look how competitive, look at like episode 1 and 2 and just how insanely competitive she was. Like she was jumping in front of vehicles to get to the next checkpoint. That's someone on the scale of almost psychopathic obsession of winning this show that you're willing to go to A&E just to get into taxi so quicker.
Her journey might be in episode 6. She might be like, actually, I'm really calm and relaxed now. I've changed.
But is she? Because she got angry at the poor pilot or whatever. What do you call the sailor? What do you call the person? The captain of the boat, the pilot, and for stopping on the island. Then you could tell it was like real passive aggression of like, right, well, we're on an island now, so we have to find somewhere to stay, don't we? It was like you could tell, like inside she was seething. Then she was like kind of like, right, I'm on hammock next to my dad now. Like again, you could tell that inside she was internalizing hate and pain and wanting to scream at someone. And now she's been told that she has to wait for a flight the next day. Again, that was kind of like
she's a control freak.
She's scratching away at her. And maybe that might be her unraveling, but I think that would make her more determined to win the competition.
Roman commented on how much of a journey Dylan's been on. Different man.
Yes.
Episode 1, completely different. I was thinking, is he really? He seems kind of the same to me.
He's kind of gone, for me, he's kind of gone full circle, Dylan. But although you say that, actually, when he was on the island and his mum, you could tell his mum was having a bit of a moment when she thought they've just been stuck on this island, they don't know what to do next, and they thought they were in Colombia but they're in Panama. Dylan was the one who pulled up his breeches and went storming off to the person and started asking questions.
English.
So Dylan did take control of the situation successfully, while Jackie was having a bit of a moment to herself. Yeah, a bit bewildered, which she was in every right to have, because I would feel the exact same way if I'd just been dumped on an island. This is where miscommunication. There was no pig. All they needed was a pig. If there was
we
a
didn't
pig
really
on
see
island,
them on their island either. The Jackie and Dylan. We didn't see them.
It looked like a bit of a, like, of all the islands, it looked like a bit
the worst one.
Yeah, not the best. Like look at I can't remember their names now.
Who?
I can't remember. Molly and Tyler. Look at the island Molly and Tyler. Molly and Tyler's island was literally one palm tree, little thatched like building, and four hammocks. That was literally their island.
That was literally a deserted island.
It was
from
beautiful.
Like the films.
It was like if you put in AI desert island and went and it brought it up. Talking of AI,
Perfection.
Anyway, yeah.
I don't know.
Sorry, I was going to go on a rant about AI, but I'm not going to.
No. So everyone can get in touch with us because it's the final next week. Let us know who you want to win and why. How do you get in touch, Alex?
Well, Ben, you go to our Linktree, linktr.ee/faithful2. On there, it's got all the links to our social media, our Instagram, our TikTok, but also how you can find or watch and listen to us on YouTube, Spotify, or any of your favourite YouTube, Spotify, any of your favourite podcast apps. Don't forget to subscribe, ring the bell, give us a thumbs up, all the good stuff. It helps with the podcast. Tell your friends, give us 5 stars. And you can comment underneath the video on YouTube and Spotify if you do watch us on there. And if you like the podcast and you want to give us a little bit of a taxi ride,
budget,
a boat trip,
bump our budget up,
a plane flight over Colombia, you can either give us a £5 one-off donation or a monthly donation by going to buymeacoffee.com/faithful, coff.ee/faithful, and on there, all the information is there to help you along the way.
Lovely. So we'll see you all again next week for the last leg, the grand final. Until then, goodbye.